Early on, I spoke about how burnout is a result of chronic workplace stress that has not been successfully managed. While it is recognized by the World Health Organization as workplace-related stress, we know that personal carers, students, and others also experience burnout. If you haven't had the chance to watch the video yet, be sure to click on the link in the top right-hand corner to find out more about burnout. Now before I move on, remember to hit the subscribe button so that you can stay updated to my future YouTube videos. There are many videos out there that tells you that stress is bad for you and teaches you ways to reduce or avoid them. You will know by now that most of them do not work for you. The reason why a lot of these stress management videos do not work is because they did not take into account that there are different types of stress. Now don't get me wrong, the concept of stress is not complicated. Stress is basically a physiological response that requires an adjustment or a change. What contributes to stress? Now that is complicated. We know that stress can arise from a multitude of sources such as families and friends, traumas, financial issues, and others. Every kind of stress should be managed differently as they are inherently different. For this video, I will only focus on one particular type of stress, and that is performance stress.
I came from the mud, there's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree, there's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. Days been gone a sleepless night. Try to catch me howling at the moon.
Performance stress refers to stress experienced when learning or performing a certain task. This includes work, training for a game, or preparing for a big presentation. While stress that is inappropriately dealt with can result in burnout, it isn't all bad.
Well, if you wanna get to heaven, you gotta raise a little hell. And I've been running from the law.
Let's face it, in this day and age where social media is so rampant and internet keeps bringing us news about what's wrong with the world all the time, getting rid of stress isn't entirely possible. We can reduce it, and we should. But what if we can exploit it and use it to improve ourselves instead? What if we can make stress our friends and increase our productivity? In this video, I'll be showing you 3 ways in which you can dominate stress and use it to your advantage. As with everything, we need to first understand an issue if you want to tackle it. To help put things into perspective, let me introduce you to the Yerkes-Dodson curve. This was one of my favorite lectures in medical school. Developed by Yerkes and Dodson in 1908, the curve basically demonstrates how performance relates to stress. There are basically 3 phases of performance relating to performance stress: comfort, eustress, and de-stress. At the beginning of the curve, there is some stimulation. We are performing the tasks with not so much enthusiasm. As a result, we put in a bit of effort to get things done. When appropriate challenge is provided to us, we then move into this phase called eustress. otherwise known as the zone. Everyone has experienced this at some point in their time. This is the time where you can write a 4,000-word essay without having mental blocks. This is the time where you can prepare for a big presentation with ideas so creative that you even surprise yourself. The problem arises is when we face repeated stress without relief or relaxation between stresses. We overload the fight and flight response, reducing our ability to handle stress. This is when we move on to the last phase, known as destress, or simply burnout. The goal is to stay in the zone for as long as possible without experiencing burnout. To do this, I'm going to share with you a strategy by Stulberg and Magnus in their book, Peak Performance. Firstly, we need to identify the task at hand. Focus on one thing at a time. I've mentioned in my previous videos that humans are terrible multitaskers. When selecting a task, choose one that is manageable, yet pose a challenge to ensure we always stay interested at all times. Too easy, we get complacent. Too difficult, we lose interest. For example, I will present my research at conferences from time to time. The truth is, public speaking still stresses me out. However, by dominating the stress and taking advantage has allowed me to present numerous speeches. Once we have identified the challenge, we need to be prepared for it. The way to do this is to introduce stress at an appropriate time and level. This can be in the form of deadlines, targets, or desired outcome. I would set deadlines of when I want speeches to be done, when I want the PowerPoints to be completed, and when I should do more presentations in front of my friends. Mindset is very important in this regard. There is no quitting. You either do it or you don't. Always over-prepare. As Les Brown has once said it is best to be prepared for an opportunity and have none, than to have an opportunity and not prepared at all. Thirdly, we introduce rest and cool down time. When you operate an engine at optimum speed, it will break down eventually. While introducing stress drives you into the zone, continuous stress without relaxation pushes you down into the curve into de-stress. To stay in the zone, we need to alternate intense period and relaxed period. For example, when I was preparing for my draft, I would spend a day or two writing it. I will leave it alone for a bit. During the break, I would go work on my videos or go fishing. After feeling refreshed, I will come back to my draft only to be shocked at how badly it has been written, rewriting them, improving them along the way. This cycle will repeat continuously until nearing the presentation. Taking a break will allow your mind to wander around stress-free and enables you to gain insight and ideas from a new perspective. Elite athletes are masters at this concept. Lastly, before the show, relax. Four-time most valuable player LeBron James will always take a nap before his match. It is important to find your relaxation techniques to unwind. My secret is to spend an hour listening to classical music before the big moments. Remember, only for a short period of time. Nobody can stay in the zone forever. After your big project or game, do not pick up another project right away. Take a break, go on a holiday, and rest up. Reset yourself to the lowest stress level as you were before, so that you'll stay fresh for a new challenge. This is when those relaxation techniques and mindfulness comes in. While it is important to take a break, do not be away for too long, otherwise you'll find it hard to find motivation to pick it up again. Every time after a big project, I would spend a day or two either reading or go on a road trip with family. You don't need to go on a month-long holiday in Europe. All you need to do is to have some time to yourself, away from your world, so that you can find your footing again. There you have it. 3 simple steps to dominate your stress and use it to your advantage. If you're interested in learning how to manage other types of stress, leave me a comment below and let me know what you want me to cover in the future. I hope you find this useful video, and if you have any questions, feel free to email me in the email in the description link below. And as always, remember to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.